Good morning to you, my dear students. How are you all? Hope that you are fine at home. And today we are going to study a new lesson, Mary Curie, A Radiant Life. You know the history of many great people, especially scientists, dramatists, writers, and many other people. And today we are going to study about a great scientist, Mary Curie, and her husband Pierre. And also, one thing, if I say, this particular work, this particular lesson is taken from the biography of Marie Curie, which is written by her own daughter, Eve Curie. And you know what is biography? What's the difference between biography and autobiography? This is a difference. Biography will be written by another person, but it will discuss about the life events, the history, and the major events that happened in one's life. Meanwhile, autobiography will be written by the same person, and it will tell about the life events that have taken place in that particular person. The content will be same, but in writing only it is different. That means about the author, about the work of art, the author is different. Biography will be written by another person, whereas autobiography will be written by the same person. And here this particular biography, that is Marie Curie, A Radiant Life, that is only one part from the whole biography of Marie Curie, which is written by Eve Curie, who is her own daughter, and we will come to know about her in page number 36. Please take page number 36. Eve Curie, 1904 to 2007, was the youngest child of the Nobel Prize winning scientist Pierre and Marie. She gained fame as a concert pianist, writer, and biographer. This account, condensed from Eve's famous biography of her mother, Madame Curie, appeared in the Reader's Digest in 1959. And this particular biography altogether, it is called Madame Curie. That is the title of the work, and this particular lesson is taken from that long biography. And she was actually a concert pianist. You know what is concert? And you have seen many concerts that is had taken place in some places when there is a celebration. A number of singers will be coming together and they will be conducting songs, including all the instruments. They will be playing the instruments and will be singing. And she was also a part of such a concert, and she was doing the piano. She was playing piano. And also she is a writer and biographer. With this, let's go to the lesson. Marie Curie, A Radiant Life. Lesson 2. You have to read it as I told in the first lesson. You have to read it first, and after that you listen, because I cannot read it once and it will take long time. So please read it and we will discuss paragraph by paragraph. In the autumn of 1891, a young Polish emigre named Mary Sklodowska excitedly registered for the science course at the Sorbonne in Paris. Too shy to make friends, she lived in a life of monastic simplicity, devoted to study alone. From her small income, she had to pay for her room, meals, clothes, and expenses at the university. When she wanted a feast, she bought 2 eggs or a piece of chocolate with some fruit. And this is the life of most of the famous persons. They had a very simple life in their childhood, or when they were not famous, they had a very simple life. You know about Mahatma Gandhi, Abraham Lincoln, and or APJ Abdul Kalam. All these people had their childhood very poor life, and this particular character, that is Marie Curie, also had a very pathetic or very poor life, very simple life in her childhood, but she followed it even after she became famous. In the autumn of 1891, a young Polish emigre, Polish means the person who belonged to the country of Poland. Emigre meaning is given a person who has left her or his own country, usually for political reasons. And she was a emigre and now she is living in France. And Marie Curie Sklodowska, that is the full name of her, excitedly registered for the science course at the Sorbonne in Paris. That particular university situates in France, that is in Paris. So she migrated from Poland to France for studying. Too shy to make friends, she lived a life of monastic simplicity, devoted to study alone. Actually, she was a shy girl and she doesn't have many friends and she lived a monastic life. What is the meaning of monastic? You know about monks or sannyasis. They live monastic life. That means simple and quiet. Her life was very simple and quiet and she's devoted her whole life for study. Means first importance, most important priority she gave for study. Okay, that means that was her only aim. When she wanted a feast, she bought 2 eggs or a piece of chocolate with some fruit. This is the case of a feast. That means if it is a celebration, she changed or she turned that celebration into eating 2 eggs or a piece of chocolate. That was the highest thing that she had. And you can just imagine how will be she in other occasions if there was no feast at all. Her food will be very simple. Mary met Pierre Curie in 1894, a French scientist of genius. Pierre, like her, was devoting body and soul to scientific research. Immediate sympathy brought them together, and in a few months, Pierre asked Mary to be his wife. But to marry a Frenchman meant she had to leave her beloved, oppressed Poland, and so 10 months passed before Mary finally accepted. And in the university, in the Sorbonne University, she met a new person, that is another scientist who later became a scientist, that is Pierre Curie, and they met in 1894. And he was also a French scientist, and he also had a devoting body and soul to scientific research, just like Marie Curie. That means he also completely submitted or devoted her time for studying science. Immediate sympathy brought them together. In a few months, Pierre asked Mary to be his wife. You know that if you choose a friend or a dear person, there will be something that will be common, your taste and their taste. Okay, same thing here. And this fact, that means both of their taste to love science and study science, that particular aspect brought them together to be one. That means they like to be one in life. But to marry a Frenchman meant she had to leave her beloved, oppressed Poland, and so 10 months passed before Mary finally accepted. Although Pierre requested her to be his wife, she took time to decide, because in order to marry, if she marries this Frenchman, that means she has to leave her country. That is a beloved country for her, and it was very painful for her to leave the country for whole life. So she took time. After 10 months only, she took the decision to marry Pierre. Their life together in a little flat was singularly lacking in comfort, and their life was very simple in a simple flat. They refused the furniture offered to them by Pierre's father. They didn't even want the goods that can be given by other persons. For example, furniture they got from Pierre's father, but they thought that they do not want a lot of things with them. The bare quarters were furnished only with books, 2 chairs, and a white wooden table. These are the only things that they had in their room, which are the books that must be used for study, and 2 chairs. to sit for both of them, and a white wooden table in order to keep the books. Okay, these were the only possessions they had. On the table were treatises on physics, a lamp, a bunch of flowers, and that was all. The other possessions to be noted was these treatises. Treatises, you know, the meaning is given there, a serious written work dealing systematically with a subject. It must be dealing with science and this particular treatises, and it is about physics, and also a lamp for studying at night, a bunch of flowers. That was the only luxurious thing that they had. Little by little, Mary improved her housekeeping wisdom. She invented dishes which needed little preparation or could be left to cook themselves. And she has to keep her studies she has to continue her studies. At the same time, she is a housewife. She has to prepare other things that is to be eaten. So she took only a less time for preparing food, and most of the time they took for science. She invented dishes which needed little preparation. Nowadays it's very familiar to us because we will get instant chapati, instant parota, everything is instant, we will get it, and just we want to cook, that's the only thing. But that day it was not possible. Still, she found out the things which can be cooked easily, and she cooked it. Before going out, Mary could regulate the flame with a physician's precision. Okay, that means you have seen your mothers preparing things. They will be doing many works at a time. Sometimes they will be making a curry, but at the same time they will keep it on the stove. After that, meanwhile they will be doing many other things. Here also, she put the things on the stove, but she regulates. What is the meaning of regulator? A regulator, you know, that is used for fan, is control. And she controlled the flame. She took only a little flame, and with a physician's precision means accuracy. She knows how much time to be needed to cook a particular thing, and so she took time for that, and she took devoted her life entirely for science in the time that is extra, means it cannot be called extra. She managed to cook as well as to do the experiments in the lab. Then in a quarter of an hour, bent over other containers, she would regulate the flame on a laboratory burner with the same careful gesture. That means she could do the work in a lab and in the kitchen in the same time. For that, she regulated the flame in kitchen as well as the laboratory burner. Means she did both works together. When her daughter Irene, a future Nobel Prize winner, was born, the idea of choosing between family and the scientific career did not even cross Mary's mind. With Pierre's support, she kept house, watched her baby daughter, but she also kept on working in a laboratory, working towards the most important discovery of modern science. And when she gave birth to her daughter, that is Irene, and she got Nobel Prize in future. And when she was born, the idea of choosing between family and the scientific career did not even cross Mary's mind. What is the meaning of cross somebody's mind? Idiomatic, that is thoughts, or come into your mind. Means she has to manage both the family as well as the science. But this thought of experiments, it did not come to her mind when she got a baby. With Pierre's support, she kept house. But Pierre, her husband, was a very supporting man, and he supported her, and she kept her house clean, washed her baby daughter. Also, she kept on working in laboratory. She did all these works with the help of her husband, working towards the most important discovery of modern science that we will see, which was the most important discovery of modern science that is contributed by these two pairs. Pierre Curie, who had followed the rapid progress of his wife's experiments with passionate interest, now abandoned his own research in order to aid with hers. Both of them were scientists. That is why they had their own decisions, they had their own opinions, and they have their own minds about science. So first they had separately studied or experimented, but later he understood that his wife was very smart in these experiments and he just joined with hers. That means they together spent the time. They started to spend the time together in order to make the most wonderful experiment or the invention. 2 brains, 4 hands now stored the unknown element in the damp little storeroom that served as their laboratory. And you know that this is not a very systematic laboratory where they worked. And 2 brains, these 2 brains means that is one of Pierce and other is of Marie Curie. They together, their mind and thoughts, everything was same. 4 hands, these 4 hands now stored the unknown element in the damp little storeroom that served as their laboratory. And this damp means it's not very neat, and it's also neat in the sense that it is almost wet, such a type of room. And they spend their time together there in the laboratory, and this served as a laboratory. This little storeroom served as a laboratory for them. By July 1898, they were also able to announce the discovery of a new element. Mary named it polonium after her beloved Poland. Finally, they invented a new thing in the science, new element. What was it? And she named it polonium because that is named after her country's name, Poland, because she loved her country very much. In December of the same year, the Curies announced the existence of a second new chemical element which they called radium. And in the July they invented polonium, and in December they invented another element that is called radium. And this is an element whose radioactivity they believed to be enormous. And now we know it is very enormous. Even it can create bombs, isn't it? Dressed in her old dust-covered and acid-stained smock, her hair blown by the wind, surrounded by bitter smoke from her experiments, which stung her eyes and throat, Mary was a virtual factory all by herself. These were some of the happiest years of her life. Okay, and we all will have very sad times in our life, or struggles we will have. And later on, when we think about those times, we'll feel that those were the best times. For example, now you are studying and you will feel that this is not a good time. You have to work hard, you have to get up early and late sleeping. And also mothers will scold, teachers will scold, and this is the worst time in life. But later you will understand, when you get something out of this hard work, then only you will understand that those years were the best years. And she also had such years, and she is describing about it. Dressed in her old dust-covered and acid-stained smock. Why it is acid-stained? Because she was making experiments with acid. That is why her dress was completely, it was covered with acid stains. Stains, you know. Her hair blown by the wind. Okay, and when she was there in the laboratory, there will be wind of especially of smoke and all, and her hair was blowing, and it is surrounded by bitter smoke from her experiments. Okay, she herself was just like a laboratory or a factory. Her life means completely she devoted herself. At the same time, each thing, hair and eyes, everything became very, means she cannot focus, such a way it became, which stung her eyes and throat. Stung means make wounds or pierce. And you know that if you have such a problem, you'll have throat pain. And she also had it. Mary was a virtual factory all by herself. She herself turned out to be a factory. And she, because she was devoting her life completely there in that particular room. So it changed to be a laboratory. These were some of the happiest years of her life. Although it was a time of struggle and sleepless night and also many other difficulties she had, including throat pain and also many other problems would be there in her head. Later she feels that these were some of the happiest years because she completely devoted herself for the study of science, which gave birth to new inventions. Money for research was not easy to come by, and the curious continued to reach to supplement their income. Torn between their own work and their jobs, they often forget to eat and sleep. Thus, radioactivity grew and developed. Meanwhile, exhausting little by little the pair of physicists who had given it life. Okay, and money for this research was not easy to come by. And in order to find out a new element, they need money. But they did not have any means to get that money because they are not working and they are working in their own laboratory, so no one will be giving money. So that was a major problem for them. The curious continued to teach to supplement. And meanwhile, just like tuition, they taught in order to find income. That was the only means for them to have income. Torn between their own work and their jobs, they often forgot to eat and sleep. It's the whole time they have to spend. Sometimes they'll be teaching. At that time, they cannot do anything, eating, sleeping, anything. And after their teaching, when they come to home, they will have a lot of works. So completely they were busy. So they had sleepless night, and also they did not have any time for eating. Thus, radioactivity grew and developed, meanwhile exhausting. So this radioactivity was the invention, and in order to develop this radioactivity, this particular element, it grew exhausting. Exhausting means tired, completely tired. Many days they have to spend their time without sleeping, without eating. So this was a time of exhausting. Little by little, the pair of scientists had given it life. Okay, and this radioactivity grew little by little. Means it is not the content, or it is not the result of a day's work. It took many years, and little by little only it grew, and this was the result of their hard work and also sleepless nights and days without food. So radioactivity, even though it is very famous nowadays, you have to understand how hard it was when it was invented by these two scientists. Finally, they achieved the miraculous outcome of their effort of purifying radium. Radium could become the ally of human beings in the war against cancer. Okay, and this radium, you know that radiations are there now. Okay, and this radium was invited by them after many days struggles, hard work, and this was a miraculous outcome. Miraculous means wonderful. And also, how did they find out this radium? Purifying radium. They had to purify the radium, and radium could become the ally of human beings in the fight against cancer. Nowadays, we must be very thankful to these couples because the medicine or the radiation for the cancer was invented by these couples. Radium was useful, magnificently useful. Okay, and they understood that it was a very useful invention. Magnificently means very impressive. The invention was very impressive and it was very useful. A radium industry was about to be born, and this was actually the starting of a radium industry. Industry, you know, there will be a number of things made together in industry, and this was the beginning of a great industry in future. And nowadays in many industries it is taking place. That means this invention was the beginning of the starting of an industry. So we must be very thankful to these couples. And today we are concluding with it. We cannot complete this lesson together. It's a long lesson. I'll discuss it the next week. But you have to read it, and I'll send you the word meanings that you have to copy. Please copy that and study. And after that, next week I'll give you question answers when we complete the lesson. And you must remember the important points, that means they had a very simple life and they devoted their life together for research, scientific research. So they got married and together they worked, and they found out, first Mary found out polonium and next radium, and after that they continuously worked many days, many years, and they had sleepless night, they had troubles, struggles, and all these they faced. But they feel later that those years were the very fruitful years, or those years were the happiest years. And you have to take the lesson from these couples, that with all the difficulties will not harm you, but all these are for your better future. So we'll conclude it.